Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. I do have some bad news. I still can't find my AirPods, so you can hear an echo. I've been looking all over the place and I still haven't found them, but oh well, if I lost them, gotta buy some new ones, right? Anyways, this is our second to last topic. Today is Monday. Wednesday is our last thing, and then we're done. And then don't worry, no need to fear. We got 5 days for review. Looking at the calendar real quick. Today is Monday, Wednesday. We start review Friday. Then we got 1, 2, 3. Monday the 10th is the last day, and then you all take your STAR test on Tuesday. There's a couple things that are about to rumble, but don't be afraid. I know a lot of us are going to be invited to come back to school that Monday. If you choose to come, don't forget that you still need to be able to review for Tuesday, which is the STAR test. Communication is key. If you have any questions, let me know. I know a lot of the kids that were asking to come is if you're failing 2 or more classes and you need to do their credit recovery to avoid summer school. So just wait and listen. If you have any questions, be very, very mindful. You can always ask me. If you have anything else, just let me know. Well, let's get to it real quick. Graphing exponential functions and identifying key features. Real quick outline for graphing. You're going to use your TI-84. We're using this calculator because that's what you're going to use on the STAR test. Desmos is still up in the air. I'm not sure. I'll find out next week, okay? Because once I'm here testing the kids that are in person, I'll see if they get to use Desmos. If not, then we're going to switch over to the calculator. Sir, but how do I get to the calculator? If you don't know how to get to the calculator, I've mentioned it a bunch of times already. Here on the front page. If you have a Chromebook, boom, click that. If you have an Android phone, boom, click that. If you have an iPhone, boom, get that app. You'll have the TI-84. Sir, what if I don't have any of those things? Then shoot, ask your parents for the phone. Do anything possible to try and get your hands on a calculator so we can see what we can do to help you. All right. So, TI-84. You're going to go to y equals, after you put in the equation, you press graph, and if you need to, go to second graph to look at the table. Key features, there's only 2 things, the y-intercept and a horizontal asymptote. Things to consider, there's no vertical. Let's talk about that real quick. What is a horizontal asymptote? When it's going side to side. Right? So it's going side to side. You can write that down too. Side to side. There is no vertical, and you will not see any x-intercepts. If you see any of those words, that is not correct, so make sure you know that for sure. All right, here we go. This is not that good. Couple examples. So right here we have a graphing question. Which graph best represents this? We could always do this by hand, ladies and gentlemen. Don't get me wrong. We could always do this by hand. But we're going to make sure we can graph it on the calculator. So let's remember this. Y equals 10, 0.8x to the power of x. Got my handy dandy calculator. How do I put this in? Following the direction I put, you click y equals, which is here in the corner. Y equals 10 parentheses 0.8 85 parentheses up to the power of x. Right here we can graph it. Okay, so right away we see that it's going downward like that. Let me make sure I put it in correctly. 10, boom, boom, boom. So it looks good. Graph, so it's going down like that. And let's see what we can compare to out of these answer choices. Okay. So we can definitely see that our graph it's decreasing, it's going like this. So I can obviously tell it's not F or H. So let's cross this out, F or H. And let's focus on these guys. We can definitely see that we're going to assume it's this one, G, right? Because it's a nice curve and this was real steep. How can we verify it? Let's look at some points that we could look. Maybe we could see that it's right here, 3, 6, or maybe 4, 5. So let's go to the table and see what 4, 5, or 3, 6 can be. All right, so we're very close. As you can see, 3 is almost 6 and 4 is almost 5. There's no exact number because this is an exponential function and there's not a precise thing to that. That's why we can't really do it by hand without doing tables, and it gets super complicated. But anyways, let's look at the other graph real quick. And you can see 2, 6 over here is not what we want. So if you look right here, 2, 7.5, shoot. 2, 7.5 is all the way up here. And is this graph going there? No. Well, what about right here? 2, 7. Okay. That makes a little sense. Boom. Looks good to me. All right. Let's go to the next one. Which graph best represents 2, 5 to the power of x? So again, go to y equals. Better clear that. We got 2, 5 to the power of x. Graph it. Okay, so we know it's increasing like that. We can automatically see it went through 2. Let's check it out. Shoot, they're all doing that, but we should have recognized that it went through 2. Let's check through each one. Okay, that maybe looks like a 2, so I'll put a question mark. This went through 10. We're looking for something that went through 2. That's not right. Right here went through 5. That's not a 2, so that's not right. That's a possible number, possibly 2. So we got F and G. Let's look at some coordinates of F and G. Right here we can see that 1 is around 10, so we're going to look at 110 on the table. So right here we're looking at 1, 5. We can probably even see if it's here on the graph. No, I can't really see it. So let's go to the table. Second graph. Boom, there's our answer right there. 110 is hooking us up. So let's check it out. 110, this is 15, that's not it. 110, shaboom. So you graph it to eliminate stuff that doesn't make sense, and then you go to the table to verify what the correct answer can be. Cool, cool, cool. Examples we're talking about the features. So we talked about a horizontal asymptote earlier before. What's a horizontal asymptote? It's where this graph, let me put it in a beautiful color. It's where this graph, this beautiful color, is restricted to on a horizontal part. As you can see, this line's gonna keep going forever and ever this way. So it'll cross this boundary of R. So we can definitely see that Q and R are not part of this asymptote thing, because we're not looking at vertical stuff. We're looking at horizontal, going side to side. T is a horizontal asymptote, but not for this graph, because a horizontal asymptote is literally touching this graph. This line's gonna go on forever and ever and ever and ever, as straight as it can, because this is the boundary that's stopping it. It will never cross this boundary because it's basically, if you want to think about it, it's like the border of the United States. Like, it's there, and the United States will never cross that border. We're restricted to just being this side. Okay, so we can definitely say that S is our horizontal asymptote, and that's one of your quiz questions, so make sure you refer back to this. So right here we can say, okay, it's line S. What is the value of the y-intercept of the graph this? Right here I could definitely do the calculator 29.5.2 to the power of x. Let's do that. Y equals clear. 29 parentheses 5.2 to the power of x. Graph it. I really can't see the y-intercept. I'm looking at this line and where the blue line crosses it. So I need to zoom out. How do I do that? It's zoom. Number 3 out. 2, 3, 4. Let's see. Enter. still really can't see it. It's right there, across right there. But this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna click second table. Boom. X is 0, Y is 29. That's my answer. How do I know that's my answer? Let's talk about that real quick. So if I had a graph, 0, 29 is right here somewhere on the y-axis. So it's telling me that this graph went like this. Oops. Something like that. So that's my y-axis because the coordinate is 0, 29. Okay? And we can even make the quick relationship that, hey, guess what? 29 is right there. And you should know that that's my A value, and we talked that A value is my y-intercept. So we should obviously say, boom, 29 is my direct answer. You don't even have to graph it. You should already know that A is my y-intercept. Boom, 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 take care of business. And the last thing that we're going to talk about, which statement about the graph of y equals that is true. So we got a couple things to remember. Never ever are we ever going to talk about an x-intercept for this topic.